Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, we are continuing to see and receive uh, information from the operational area around Dese that there continues to be a major force posturing of the Ethiopian army and its Amharan paramilitary militia allies. We're seeing uniformed either Amharan paramilitary militias or Ethiopian Federal Army forces massing in the vicinity of Dese. Again, these forces number in the thousands, possibly tens of thousands of personnel. We can see very extensive columns of soldiers marching towards staging areas. We can see intermittent usage of some older main battle tanks, such as T-62s, being deployed in the region. But there definitely appears to be a fairly sizable force concentration of the Ethiopian military within the vicinity of Dese. Now, will we see a major push north along the A2 highway by forces of the Ethiopian military and the Amharan paramilitary units? It's hard to say. As are the Ethiopian forces, massing forces, as are the Tigrayan defense forces. So if we were to see a push outside of a defensive posture, but more of an offensive posture, push by the Ethiopian army to the north, it could be a fairly significant battle, one of the more sizable engagements of the war to date. Again, the route that the Ethiopian forces and the Amhara paramilitary units taking along the A2 highway and along the A2 frontal zone, again, that would be running from west of Dese, and then obviously to the east of Dese as well. But we have very significant terrain features that over the past few months the Tigrayan Defense Forces have been fortifying. We have heard that further north of Weldia, there are rather extensive fortification efforts underway and defensive operations underway. We do also know that in the vicinity of Weldia and south of Weldia, the Tigrayan Defense Forces have the ability to quickly go on a defensive posture if needed. But again, it's very difficult to say what is going to occur within the next several days, several weeks from now. Again, on one hand, we do hear chatter that there could be a very sizable Ethiopian federal military operation being supported by Amhara militias pushing north along the A2 highway in hopes of pushing back the Tigrayan Defense Forces in the vicinity all the way up towards Weldia. And depending on how that operation would go, obviously they could either then advance towards Kobo or trying to establish some sort of pincer movement and go after the Tigrayan Defense Forces that are operating west of Gashina and east of Gashina, and conduct an operation from Weldia and a push both west and east towards the Tigrayan Defense Forces that are operating in this area as well. But again, this is just brief analytical assessments. We do not know what is going to happen. It would appear, again, fairly significant forces are amassing on both sides, and we could see some incredibly intense conflict and battles in the days to come. Again, very large, sizable formations on both sides are in the area, and either or side launches an offensive. If that offensive does not go well and significant casualties are taken, either side could be very quickly on the defensive again, or even possibly facing some serious military obstacles. So I would say that in terms of offensive operations, specifically geared towards the Ethiopian military, outside of the initial attack into the Tigray region supported by the Eritrean military, there has not been a lot of successful offensive operations by the Ethiopian military. Once the Tigrayan Defense Forces were fully mobilized and active, we have not seen the Ethiopian military have great success in some of these counter operations to take back territory from the Tigrayan Defense Forces. Now, are there sizable forces of the Ethiopian military within the vicinity of Dessie? There are. Now, again, will we see these forces push north? Possibly. Does that automatically mean they will be successful in their push towards Waldea? Not at all. These forces could run into some significant ambushes. They could face significant defeats, and we could very easily see a renewed push by the Tigrayan Defense Forces to actually attack Dessie at some point. Also, when the Ethiopian military, if and when it does launch said operation, the Tigrayan Defense Forces do have the capability. They do have a conventional artillery component to their force structure right now, where they could possibly shell Dessie if, in fact, they needed to. But again, we will continue to keep an eye on the situation. It looks like a very sizable engagement could be about to begin at some point, and we will obviously continue to watch what happens as both forces continue to posture for the event of a major land battle in the vicinity between Dessie and Waldea. Have a good day, everyone.